Did the folklore and paranoia around witches originate from Europe? Some of the views regarding witchcraft coming from medieval Catholic Church were quite interesting. Einstein, I bedan na. The Council of Paderborn in 785, aimed at the Saxons, stated that witchcraft didn't exist and threatened the death penalty against any would-be witch hunters. In 866, Pope Nicholas I prohibited torture against those accused of witchcraft. The general view of Catholic authorities in this period seems to be witchcraft simply doesn't happen, and the real evil is the superstitious masses ascribing actual power to these people. Examples of this viewpoint come from texts by Agobard of Lyons, Regio of Prum, and Bertrand of Worms. Pope Gregory VII in 1080 wrote to King Harold of Denmark forbidding him to execute witches for causing famines who he considered to be unfairly targeted innocents. It wasn't until the Papal Inquisition in the 1230s where the Church shifted position to generally believe in the existence of witchcraft and started targeting its practitioners. Much of it was related to herbalism and folk medicine. As we know now, some herbs are good for you in terms of bringing nutritional value and taste, etc. Socially, what usually ended up happening is, take a peasant family. There's a wife, husband, and kids. The kids die due to simple childhood things, and she can't produce more offspring. Then, through dumb luck, warfare, injury, illness, or whatever, the husband dies. Now you're left with a spinster widow who in a very male-dominated society has no further support structures, unless she had a profession already, i.e. was the town baker or midwife. She needed something to survive. So she'd pick up the herbalist craft and scrape a living together making tonics and cures for livestock and people or whatever. Sometimes they work, and sometimes they don't. In an undergrad course I took that covered religion in early modern Europe. One of the big huge trends we noticed through our readings was that a huge chunk of all witch crazes and witch hunts happened in lands that were Protestant in faith. One argument that came up for this is just the sheer weight of stuff in Catholicism. The RCC basically had an explanation for literally everything, so a witch whose remedy didn't work was viewed in a neutral light because sometimes God works in mysterious ways, and the ether required this to happen. Things could happen because angels and saints in the spiritual realm manifest itself in the physical. We just aren't always meant to understand, or so their belief in those days went. But, with Protestants, all of that stuff, all the explanations and beliefs in saints and catechism and the vast array of smoke and mirrors, pomp and ceremony, it's all gone. So now, those believers don't have this vast mountain of divine realms and other extra-biblical beliefs to prop up the natural and supernatural orders of the world. And, it would seem that this has the effect of bringing a ton of fear into the Protestant believers' world. And fearful people tend to react in rather violently predictable ways. I'm sure my super broad course explanation may not be the best, but many of the books recommended here are excellent options.